Hey everyone, my name is Sean Cecil from the Oculus Institute, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to become a coach full-time. Okay, so one thing that I hear a lot is I hear people coming to me saying that they think that they'd make a wonderful coach. They like the idea of helping people. They like the idea of directly interacting with people. They find it a lot more meaningful than pushing paper at some, giant bureaucracy or something along those lines. And they're looking for a sense of impact. They're looking for a sense of freedom. They're looking for something where they can just share their advice with people. I can't count the number of times people have come to me and said, oh yeah, I give advice to people and they love my advice. I would be such a great coach. Well, so today I'm going to give you an insight into what that world looks like and how that path actually works. And the truth is that there's actually not one, but there's two paths to being a successful coach. But before I do, I just got to give you guys a warning. A lot of people have a very romanticized notion of coaching, and the truth is that it's not all bunnies and butterflies. The statistics say that only the top 1% of coaches earn over $120,000 a year, right? And that's revenue. So if you're talking about a business owner, if they're spending 50 to 75% of that on costs like advertising and all that kind of stuff, it can be substantially less. So many people come to me and they're hoping to make $200,000 a year, $300,000 a year coaching. And it's totally doable if you know what you're doing, if you know how to market and sell yourself, but it's not easy. Like everything in this world that's really worth it, it takes a lot of work. So with that warning put up front, let's dive into the two ways that you can become a coach. So the first way that you can become a coach is that you can go work for somebody else. So you can go work for somebody like Tony Robbins, or you can go work for, any coach who's advertising on Facebook. You could always just give them a call and say, hey, do you need some help? There's always a chance that you could get hired by somebody like that. Bob Proctor is another one. There are all kinds of different organizations that are out there. I think Brendan Burchard has a coaching program. There are all kinds of other things where you can go and you can work for somebody else. They'll hire you. You can coach their people. They may require you to do some kind of life coaching certification or something like that. You go, you work there, you work your way up, and the pay is just like any other job, You put in your time, you're going to get paid about the same as any other, normal job. It's just something where you're interacting with people. You show up during your coaching hours. Sometimes they pay per session, sometimes they pay salary. You talk to people, and then at the end of the day, you go home, right? Now, if you're the kind of person who wants to be, center spotlight, then that may not be the job for you. If you want to make 6 figures a year, it's doable, but it's going to be, it's going to require you to put in a lot of time. It's going to require you to put in a lot of years, just like any other job. And so because of these reasons, a lot of people say, oh, I want to go start my own coaching company. I want to be the business owner. They look at it and they say, it's got total freedom. I just have to talk to people. That's it. People just give me a call and I'll give them advice and I'll get paid and I can make all the money in the world. And I can be on YouTube and Facebook and all this kind of stuff. It appeals to people's sense of individuality. It appeals to their desire for celebrity. It appeals to all these kinds of things. But it's a hard road to walk. And there are 3 things that you really have to do if you're going to start your own coaching business, right? The first thing that you have to do is you have to get clear on what transformational outcome that you deliver. Now, a lot of people get mixed up on that. They'll get a life coaching certification and they'll say, oh, I'm a life coach. But the problem is that that's not something you can market. Back in the day when Tony Robbins was getting started, you could be that general. Nobody had heard of coaching. There weren't that many people doing it. And so you could go out and you could say, oh, I help you be more productive and I help you live a better life and I help you tap into your potential. And all of these vague phrases. And that worked back then, right? And he built a whole empire based on that. But over the past 30 to 40 years, the world has changed. There's so many people out there trying to be coaches that kind of stuff just gets lost in the noise. And so even if you have some kind of underlying psychological or spiritual technology that can be applied to a wide variety of problems, you have to get started with one specific transformational outcome, one major business or life problem that you can solve. And by focusing on that specific problem, you start with a specific audience. You help them solve a specific problem. You can market to them in very specific language. You can market to them in a way that speaks to them personally and allows you to stand out from the crowd. And the more specific you are, the faster you're going to be able to ramp up. Before you actually manage to build a successful clientele and provide the income that you're looking for when you go to start your own coaching business. So step number one is to get clear on a transformational outcome that you provide, a major life or business problem that you can solve. And if you've got some kind of underlying psychological or spiritual technology, great. Start with one problem, add another one later once you're already established, and then add another one after that. There's nothing wrong with that, but you've got to start off with one. The second thing that you have to do if you want to be a great coach is you have to learn to adopt the right posture when it comes to your clients. And this is entirely an internal thing. It's going to show up in your external interactions, but I've seen people cut both ways on this and make major, major mistakes that will sink their coaching business. So let's talk about posture for a second. You can have a superior posture, you can have an equal posture, and you can have an inferior posture. When prospects come to you, right, they're often going to be coming from an inferior posture. They're looking for help, but there are times when they're going to come at you and they're going to challenge you, right? Once somebody signed up as a client, they normally come in an inferior posture. And you can work within that dynamic. That's fine. No matter what posture somebody comes at you at, it doesn't matter how you treat them. When I'm talking about posture here, though, I'm not talking about the external social dynamics. I'm talking about how you morally see yourself in relation to your clients. And that has to be equal. It has to be, I am a one human being helping another human being solve a problem. And yes, they're compensating me for that, but it's just one human being to another helping them out. And there are two different ways that this can go wrong. One is, I've seen coaches who come at it from a superior moral posture. They think that they're better than everybody else. They may, be in it for the money, and they'll go and they'll sell, they'll use hard sales tactics, they'll use pressure, they'll make promises that they don't deliver on because they don't care about their clients, because they don't see their clients as being important. They see themselves as being important. Or they'll come at it from a place of ego, right? They'll come at it from a place of pride. And then what happens is then they enter into those coaching interactions where they're trying to help somebody, and they're coming at it from a place of dominance, from a place of trying to bully people, from a place of just trying to overwhelm their frame. And the client may walk away with some insights, but they're not going to feel great about working with you. They're not going to feel great about who you are. And, some people do want, that kind of dominance, but many people don't. And then those people are going to walk away, and they're not going to have good things to say about you, and that's going to drag your business down. Now, on the opposite side, and this is actually more common nowadays when it comes to people who are getting into coaching, when it comes to people who have, made some money, you're more likely to see them come at it from the superior posture, from the place of ego. When it comes to people just getting in who haven't been successful, more often the reason that I see they haven't been successful is they're coming at it from an inferior posture. They don't see themselves as worthy. They don't see themselves as enough, which means that they aren't willing to charge the prices that they really deserve. I mean, if you think about it, let's say you are somebody who helps people find love, right? I know a lot of dating coaches. I have a bunch of friends who are dating coaches. If you show somebody how to not be alone for the next 40 years, right, how much is that worth, right? That's priceless. And so people have to be willing to charge what, just even a small fraction of what that's worth. Otherwise, their business model isn't going to work. Clients aren't going to show up committed. They're not going to have skin in the game. And overall, the whole thing is, they're going to attract a bunch of people who are, kind of half in, half out dabbling. And that's not a winning recipe for anybody, because then they're not going to get good testimonials. They're not going to get the impact in themselves of feeling like they really changed their life, because they're not going to have people who show up and get results. So in order to charge what you're really worth, you have to have a sense of worthiness. In order to have a discussion with somebody who may become a client, you have to be able to present yourself with confidence. And so if you're going to be a coach, the first thing that you've got to do is you've got to do some hard internal look at yourself. And you have to determine, do I really believe in myself? Do I really believe I'm worthy? Do I really have the best interests of my clients at heart? On both ways, high and low, you need to make sure that you're coming at it from a place of confidence, from a place of caring about the client, and that it's a place of equality of one human being helping another human being. And then finally, the third thing that you need, if you're going to run your own coaching business, is you have got to learn marketing and sales, and you have to be willing to do it. I've met so many coaches and they think that it's just all going to be about having conversations with clients. And once you build up your coaching business and you have a team, that's absolutely the case. And that's wonderful. You're creating content, you're doing events, you're speaking on stage, you're writing books, all this kind of stuff is wonderful. But when you're getting started, you have to do all the marketing and sales yourself. And so people who try to avoid that, and I've talked to a lot of people like, oh yeah, I just want to find a way to get clients without having to do any of that kind of stuff. That doesn't work, right? If you want to build your own coaching business, then you're going to have to learn how to write good marketing copy. You're going to have to learn how to have a sales discussion. You're going to have the confidence in yourself to go do these things. You're going to have the willingness to put the time in to do these things and to do them properly. You can't just avoid them because you don't want to do them. It's a critical part of any business. So guys, just to summarize before we end, right? Option one is you can go work for somebody else as a coach. And if you really love coaching, and that's an easy path, right? It's not super lucrative. It's not going to make you $200,000, $300,000 a year, but it's a great path. It's a professional job, just like anything else, just like being an engineer. But if you want to have that dose of celebrity, if you want to make a lot more, if you want to set all the terms and build a team and have people who are supporting you, then you got to go start your own coaching business. And if you want to be successful there, then one, you have to start off solving a major business or life problem, something that's truly transformational. Two is you have to show up for your clients from a place of confidence, but also a place of caring. And three is you've got to become an expert at sales and marketing. Okay, so now that we've gone into all the details, you may be realizing that coaching is right for you. And you may be realizing that coaching isn't right for you, right? You may be realizing that it wasn't exactly what you thought it was. Either way, if you're in a job that's dragging you down and you're looking to make a change, whether it be getting into coaching or anything else, then the best place to get started is a free presentation I've put together for you guys. It's at www.oculusinstitute.com/workshop. And it's going to go over the process of what it looks like to move out of a job that's dragging you down and making you miserable, and getting clear on something that's really going to make you happy and making that change happen. And if you're still unclear on whether or not coaching is right for you, then that's a great place to start. And if you're sure that coaching is right for you, it's still a good place to start because it's going to give you an overview of the process and the journey that you're about to make. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Comment below, let me know your thoughts, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Have a wonderful day.